I'm not gonna lie, I love how the separation in white people is starting to get shown by how loud they speak. The mixing is a little off. The fuck was that? What type of dork ass input was that? Talking about the fucking mixing. That was like the whitest input you could have had on the subject. That shit didn't even add any value. You just bitching like a Karen. You just nagging and complaining about some shit that's irrelevant like an older white person that wants to be heard. He just killing the vibe for no reason. That dork ass input. First things first, J. Cole is not no nobleman for backing out of the rap battle that he was the main one insinuating that he wanted in the first round. He was about to be on some white rapper rap guy tip talking about my lyrics are better than yours. It's the safer decision. It might be the smarter decision. They started talking about the intricacies of fucking race and shit, and J. Cole in the same boat as Drake. Drake been the only one out of these three that's been consistently dropping. He don't drop enough. Kendrick don't drop enough either, but he shows time and time again why he deserves to be in that conversation. Like J. Cole nostalgically holds a special place in my heart. I don't know what a big three looks like, but it's somebody else that could be in there, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
White boy, white boy. White boy, white boy. Crody, Crody, Crody. Come on, white boy. White boy. Come on, man.
It just it bugged me, man. It bugged me because it was like somebody I looked up to at one point. It was somebody that I was like, I used to see out and be like, yo, that's that nigger, that's that nigger, that's that nigger. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing.
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group and saying like, what are you guys doing? Say, man's like you. Really weird. Yeah, yo, so man's like you are going to that, and then this seems like the group.
Crew. That's interesting.
It's not. It's really ignorant. It's really ignorant. It's really ignorant.
What about rude? That's rude.
No.
That's a good thing. That's fat. That's dope.
Yeah, I hear that.
These are old school, like.
Yeah, those are old school. I don't want chocolate.
I think it's more interesting the actual disses that they're using at each other. Like Drake is from Canada cosplaying as a black American, but then he's got too many red flags. He's got too many red flags in the people that he hangs out with. The way that he's trying to adapt and fucking pick up the lingo too late. But they gonna look at it to face value. This is what be blowing the shit out of me, because a lot of times it's a lot of white people that's trying too hard, and it's a lot of white people who are faking fry modes, but there is white people that live in the root center. But some people are either too biased or they're too dumb and dense to see that shit, so they just gonna look at face value whiteness and be like, oh, he's trying too hard to fucking fit in, or he's playing a character. But one, it's around people that don't even matter. You don't know shit about me. You don't know a lick about me. You don't know my upbringing. You don't know what I know. Where you're from matters tremendously. Like if somebody says they're from a certain part, it could all easily add up and be congruent. When it's somebody like that dissing me, right? Like let's say it's a black person who he being ignorant because I'm white, and he gonna diss me because I'm white. I'm not gonna diss him for being black because I was raised by too many black and African mothers to do that shit. So he trying to pull my card to see what my reaction is. And yeah, I might get angry, but I'm not gonna be on some fuck you and just start shouting out racial slurs and shit, or forget what my fucking like homegrown upbringing is. So the idea of because you're white, your opinion is invalid, it's like half true, but it's really more so of like, who the fuck is the person that's speaking? That's what I hate about the internet when it comes to like race-related conversation, because they're way too fucking surface level when it comes to discussion. The white person isn't invalid because he's white. Who are your fucking vouchers? Who are your vouchers? Who are your vouchers? So again, going back to the whole white people shouldn't have an opinion on black culture, it's more of where the place of the opinion is coming from and if the opinion is valid. Just because you're white doesn't mean that your opinion is invalid. But if you don't know what you're talking about, why the fuck would anybody take you serious? It's one thing to be a fan chiming in and somebody who we're supposed to take serious. But nah, just because you're white doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to have an opinion. And then, yeah, like one of my YouTube peers, he had commented, he was like, I don't like that whole, so because I'm foreign listening in, I shouldn't have an opinion on American music. Bro, like, let's dissect that shit. If they saying white people shouldn't have an opinion on black hip hop, a white person is way closer to the root center than a foreign person studying from YouTube. they're obviously saying that shit. Just because you're not white doesn't mean you're not exempt from what they're talking about. If you didn't even grow up under the umbrella, they're obviously talking, like, they're either not weighing in your opinion or they're obviously talking about you too. But again, the whole kill is, I be talking to Black He Speaks all the time. Black He Speaks is very passionate about hip hop. He's not from America, but at the same time, his opinion is valid because he truly is passionate and he cares about it. And you could tell that his passion for it comes from a place of love. He might not be able to convince Metro Boomin to be cool with Drake, but his opinion has definitely ran its laps across the world and shit. Again, it boils down to who's the person that's speaking. It is like a level of gatekeeping that needs to be held. Because this is what it be a lot of times. A lot of times, it be like non-black people, mainly white people, will take things that they like from black people, but they don't even like black people. Like, why is this fucking Dr. Seuss character making monkey noises at a black woman, but then he gonna steal the whole, like, fucking rapper lean aesthetic? Like, somebody need to beat his ass. Somebody need to jump that man for real, on some real shit. Like, it's a lot of times where white people or non-black people will take from black people, take things that they like culturally and aesthetically from black people, and then they don't even like black people, but they're so inspired by them, so that pisses off black people. And then it's the other times where they'll take, but then they don't understand enough to make it their own, so then it just looks corny and it just doesn't look right. It looks champ. It looks lame. You didn't do that shit right because you didn't even know enough about it to fucking... I'd argue like that's the better alternative than the first one. Both can be a triggering ick. It's definitely some gatekeeping that needs to be upheld. I've never denied that sense. If you're not valid enough to walk through the gates, you need to fucking keep your ass off the yard. I wouldn't even have this type of conversation with these type of people at this fucking table. I wouldn't even feel comfortable sitting at this table. If I start talking to them a little more ghetto with ebonics and shit, they're gonna be like, oh, that's, they're gonna be like that to my face, and they're gonna be like, why does he talk like that behind my back? Notice how every biracial person just clenches on to being black. They try their best to mask and disregard the white side. Whole time, they be saying the N-word the most out of anybody. They clenching onto that black side as hard as they can. Everybody's so ashamed to admit that they're white. Everybody's just so scared to be white. Everybody's so scared to be white because they act like that's the surface level, like, definitive.
I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
We just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful, I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
Shout out to my man Ernesto Salta Kunis. What's up, baby? I see you. I know what you do out there with the Liberty Swingers, alright? Go easy on the young ones, my man. I saw you on TV last night. Wasn't clean what you said.
I can't keep myself.
Stay off that television set. You're talking crazy, looking crazy. Your clothes look crazy. You look ridiculous. What do you mean? What age are we talking about here? What do you mean, buddy? We're gonna keep our children away from you, my brother, alright? Stop touching the little ones.
As far as who won the beef, it's gotta be Kendrick. He got the hit song. But this is what y'all gotta understand, bro. They all view botting. They all fabricated. Like, bro, they've been doing this shit since I fucking hopped in the YouTube game, bro. All this shit is fake. Your favorite rapper is buying fucking views, bro. That's why they got 100,000 views on a fucking music video and get 1,000 likes on that shit. It don't add up. My 100,000 views is like 10K likes. They tell me I fell off with 50,000 views and 5,000 likes. Like, they're all lying to you. It's all a fucking mirage. And then they just fucking steal your ad revenue, copyright that shit, and then just fucking run off with the bag that you fucking earn to keep fueling these fuck ass artists that don't make the views that they're actually making. But Kendrick got the better song out of them. Not Like Us is definitely a hit. That's gonna be the summer jam. You're gonna be hitting your crip walks to that with a couple shots of alcohol in you. He really played chess on Drake's bum ass because he already knew the swaying of public opinion was gonna matter a lot. If they were going at a slow speed of this track here, this track there, it'd probably be still more of a mixed bag. But Kendrick really watching him. Fucking Drake trying to give Millie Bobby Brown advice at the age of 14 years old about boys. I'm not gonna lie. If I was her father, I'm reading those fucking messages. I wouldn't even allow that conversation to... Like, why are you mental? I think Kendrick's diss is cut deeper. It might be a little bias aimed at, like, they want to dethrone Drake. I've analyzed a lot of beef over the years. If it was a fabricated W, I'd tell y'all, but nah. Kendrick won that shit. And it's like, if you view about it, he played the same game as Drake, so that doesn't matter. It matters about the time that he dropped and the aims that he's coming at Drake with. Not being black enough and a pedophile. I'd argue Drake did a good job responding to it lyrically, but nah, he hasn't been able to overwrite those two with some shit at Kendrick. The aims that Drake has towards Kendrick is falling flat, while the aims Kendrick has towards Drake's is turning into memes. If you're looking at the beef like a war, I consider this like a major battle. Kendrick definitely won the battle, but I think they're going to continuously be throwing jabs at each other for the rest of their career. I don't think this is going to ruin Drake's career, though. Drake's still going to thrive and survive. But win is all subjective, because if Kendrick just wanted to tarnish your name, he already did that shit and succeeded. Like, whatever he was trying to get out of this encounter, he got and won. Drake's career is definitely not dead in the water after this, though. Like, he's going to need to go to prison for his career to die. But if they going to find something, they looking for it.